pray for you. I go always pray for you. Make the grace of Jesus see you through.
The African woman is one resilient woman that has refused to allow her environment, culture, and how people perceive her to stop her from being who she aspires to become. Which is why we see a lot of African women at the global stage making their marks, and anywhere they are given any responsibility, they have demonstrated that the true resilience of African woman has been brought to bear in what they are doing. So to me, the African woman is one woman that if the world can really give them where they are supposed to be, will have so many problems being solved because of what they are going to bring on the table.
Blacks don't crack is a popular saying that reflects the strength of the black race. And this is true. But then again, those words are the perfect definition and reflection of who the African woman is.
What is so unique about the African women in Nigeria is that women has passions. And women are also committed in all angles. And women are, I always tell people, 95% of the woman's making in a home.
The culture, evolution, and history of women who were born, live, and are from the continent of Africa reflects the evolution and history of the African continent itself. Bold, brave, sound, and courageous, the African woman is not afraid of breaking through tough territories and bringing home the medal. So be it for development, nation building, transformation, or peace brokerage, in whatever field and in any capacity, the role of the woman cannot be overemphasized. And oh yes, a good number of notable African women have been responsible for bridge building and the creation of a sustainable future for other less opportune women and younger girls to thrive and become the change the world needs.
I'll just give you three typical examples. We have Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, we have Amina Mohammed, we also have Chimamanda making us proud wherever she is today, as somebody that the world can reckon with in terms of literary world, and she's doing it so very well. And when you come to the African soil, for example, one of the richest black women is from Nigeria to be particular, that is Mrs. Alakija. And she has not even stopped being the richest woman. She's also in her community doing the best that she could do to raise other African women up to be able to be empowered. I would not mention my name if I'm being interviewed because I aspire to be like these women that I've mentioned. So if the younger women that we are trying to also see how we can strengthen them are being interviewed, they will be the ones to talk about Dr. Juba Amadu. So in a nutshell, I'm just that African woman in my own little corner doing my own thing. I'm from Kogi State, Nigeria. I'm married to Dr. Abubakar Amadu, who is from Nasarawa State, all in the north central geopolitical zone of Nigeria. But with the help of family and friends, we are where we are today, impacting some vulnerable women and girls to ensure that their voices are heard.
Echoes from the Valley, telling the African story.
People have a misconception of Africa and African people.
Africa has a splendid beauty that has to be experienced.
Echoes from the Valley on AIT, Saturdays at 7:30 a.m.
We have got to tell our story.
Echoes from the Valley. For sponsorship, participation, and advert detail, please call the numbers on your screen. Echoes from the Valley, telling the African story.
I will always pray for you.
Research has shown that women are the real drivers of every thriving economy. They make up a significant proportion of the economically active population. But unfortunately, this is not often recognized, not fully recorded. The status of women in Africa is varied across nations and regions. For many reasons, the patriarchal nature of the African society, the cultures, traditions, and beliefs of the people play a major role in marginalizing the African woman. African women still face various issues related to gender inequality, such as disproportionate levels of poverty and education, poor health and nutrition, lack of political power, limited workforce participation, gender-based violence, female genital mutilation, and child marriage.
I've never been able to see myself going through those difficult challenges, apart from the general challenges that every leader will have in terms of finances and also some other issues that will come up, maybe technically. But me having people looking down on me because they are a woman, I've never personally experienced that. So I'm able to tell you those specific things that they go through. So far it's been so good. But generally, we have women complaining about even some of their subordinates looking down on them because they are a woman. The woman cannot give them orders on what to do because they are a woman. Then in terms of, in the boardroom, for example, you see some men talking some women down. It also depends on how you carry yourself. Some men, you can't take it away from them, but you can also respectfully and tactically put them in their position, which is what has been working for me. We've seen some time ago, even on one of these popular television channels, of a presenter talking a lady down on air. I'm happy the way his other colleague came against him and that issue was resolved. So in the nutshell, the way you carry yourself go a long way in how people address you. So how you address yourself is going to be how you will also be addressed by other people. And your voice cannot be heard if you are not empowered. And that empowerment can come through maybe you being in school, or the women who are majorly widows being given some skills. Because some part of Nigeria, they see marriage as their own vocation. Just like a woman go to school or a woman prepare to come to work every morning, these women see marriage as their own job. So it's what they are doing without pension. Some of us, we are fortunate to be working now, we are entitled to fund pension. But once their husband died, it means their job has finished. And they will be left with so many challenges. So most of these women, they will be forced to either become a beggar, living from hand to mouth, because some of them don't even have the opportunity of being given some skills, even little business skills they don't know, because their husband was providing everything for them. They'll be forced to either retire back to their villages to take their children to a new environment that they were not used to. That will also break their progression. So bearing that in mind, we're able to start impacting some skills in these women. And to the glory of God, we can give testimony of where these women are today compared to where they were when they lost their husbands.
Up till now, there's still some women that their husband refused them to come out for something. There's still some women that politically there's a session that women supposed to take in part. They are up till now, they have not allowed them. There's still some women that their husband refuse them to come out for something, even marketing, to go to market. Because just recently, the interview we had, there's a woman, she's a graduate. She has been a graduate for the past 10 to 15 years. And she's married. She has never even worked one day. And she has never even said common pure water. And she has 5 children. Because when we were on AIT for the interview, and when they opened line for people to talk, that was where the woman come out and say something that now the husband is late. Where did she start from? So supposing the husband allow her to come out for even business, at least he will have helped her. There's still a home that abuse girls' child education. So you can see, if they are still abusing girls' child education, where are we heading to? That is where mostly we need seriously advocacy and sensitization in the each communities. And we are pleading that especially the well-meaning Nigeria, Africa, this one should be our voice on girls' child education, because they are the future of tomorrow.
Only through a break in these cultural biases can the African woman be liberated. Only through education, enlightenment, and financial empowerment can the bias be broken. Nobody does it. The liberation of the African woman is in the hands of the African woman.
The future of African woman, to me personally, is in the hands of the African woman. Numerically, we have the strength. Educationally, we are there also. And in terms of our capacity to deliver, that has been demonstrated time without number that we can't. If the men cannot just give it to us like other African countries have done, like Rwanda, they have 54% women and the rest are men. In Namibia also the same thing, South Africa the same thing. If in our own climb here, it can be given to us. The onus now is on us to see how we can come together and take this power away from men, and not to take it away from them and rub it in their face, but to ensure that what they have been depriving us of, we can work and diligently arrive at that. Because one of them confessed recently on live television that if they allow women to be as many as they are at the National Assembly, it means their own will be finished. That is not the case. If they allow women to be there, and if men also work to be there, we are going to show them that development that Nigeria has eluded Nigeria over the years can actually be possible with women being in power, seeing what they have done in some position that has been given to them. It was when Okonjo-Iweala was a Minister of Finance that the Nigerian debt was cancelled completely during Obasanjo's era. She was a woman. She made that happen. Just imagine that we have like 5 or 6 or 7 of hers in the current cabinet. Things could have been better.
From you go
To enable women escape poverty, development policies should place more emphasis on their contribution to the economy. Inclusion is a must. Unfortunately, this is not so in many male-dominated African countries, where the rights of women are not taken seriously.
They are not doing well. They are not doing well, and I can just bring you down to a recent development in Nigeria, where in a month that the world recognized as a month that women should be celebrated, our National Assembly just dealt a very terrible slap on Nigerian women's faces. The entire amendment in our constitution that should have taken some step to ensure that women are given their rightful place in decision-making processes were thrown out without considering some of the merits of these bills that they were supposed to have amended to enable women to have some seats, to enable women to have right to citizenship and some other bills. They just give us that present on the 1st of March, which is very bad. And it goes a long way to show that we are not ready in Nigeria yet. So it's now left for women, for us to use our numerical strength, come together to just forget about them giving us on a platter of gold. How can we use our numerical strength to our advantage? If you see a woman who is qualified contesting for any position, go all out to ensure that this woman is elected. And we shouldn't limit it to when we are trying to contest election. We should be part of the political party administration. From the ward level, women should aspire to become members of this party, take position in this party that will enable you to also be a delegate to go and vote. If you are not a delegate to vote, it's difficult for you to even have a woman aspirant being presented by a party as a candidate to bear their flag. So now we've seen what these men are capable of doing. They cannot give us, it's not a tea party again for us. So let's come together first, love ourselves, ensure that we support ourselves genuinely beyond us coming together at conference talking about women empowerment, women affirmative action. No, let us genuinely love and support that woman who is qualified. I'm not for any woman that comes out to be supported. Ensure that the woman is a woman that will go there and deliver. We've seen states that have presented women in terms of showing that they are aligning themselves to the affirmative action. What are the qualities of these women? It's not enough to just present any woman. Let the woman be able to talk for herself, talk for other women, and bring other women on board. That is what we are looking for.
It's just for the opportunity to give to the women in Africa. Because when you come to politically and individually, women are more active on our own. And that is where we look at it that if opportunity can be given to women in Africa, seriously, it will go a very long way. For example, in National Assembly, that they promised the women that they will give us 35%, and now it's coming down to 10%. So we are pleading to them. They should not underrate women. We are not saying women are in front. Women can never be on top of men. It's always a father that be on top. And we are promising them that we will not disappoint them because of our children. Because whatever you do, it affects your children. So, and 90% of a woman's making in a home. So that is why we are begging them that please, they should allow women to come out.
Also, on March 8, 2022, a significant day for women across the world, the women of Nigeria, in their great numbers, took to the streets. No, not again. The discrimination and prejudice has to stop, they said with one voice.
Women are getting together to support one another and to protest against the rejection of all clauses put in by women by the National Assembly. Not even one, not two, but all 5 clauses were thrown away. So it's about sensitization, it's about mobilization, it's about support. And letting the world know that, look, we are Nigerian women, we are brilliant, we're energetic, we're intelligent. You can't keep, pushing back a critical mass of your society. When I was in Parliament, we're 27. They're not even half that number now. The same thing with the Senate. So it's getting tougher and worse for women. So we're asking for the right enabling environment. I don't want equality, I want equity. Don't say that, because you're a woman, you can't get it. Or because you're a woman, I'll make it tougher for you. That's what I'm asking. And now I'm joining the women equity in everything that we do. And the world should not leave us behind in terms of women participation in politics and in every aspect of the world. And for the women themselves, we must show leadership by example. We must show integrity. We must show that we are indeed mothers and that we can indeed be agents of positive change.
Greatest of the greatest Nigerian women! I want you to say to 1 or 2, 3, 5 women with us, say Happy International Women's Day!
The reason, as we have known, is that they have absolutely no respect for women. They have shown it repeatedly. The National Assembly, even right from the 8th Assembly, they threw away the gender equality bill, and they don't care about women. So that's just what it is, and they have shown us. And to look at all the bills, even the littlest one that they could have just said, okay, let's just pass it, they never did, they never bothered, because as far as they're concerned, women are not important. But what we need to let them know is that we indeed are important. We are the reason why most of them have gotten the seats that they have, and we'll begin to use that power absolutely coming during the elections. When you don't have respect for and regard for, you wouldn't do anything. So for them, the Women Internationals Day is just a day. It's just a token that is thrown at women one day out of a year, or 1 month out of a year. The whole month of March, they will say to you that, oh, this is Women's Month. What is that? It's absolutely nothing. It hasn't changed anything. They keep coming up with fancy hashtags, fancy things. That's not what we want. What is happening today? We've seen what the world can do when the world is interested about something. We've seen the sanctions that have been placed on Russia. Can they put the same sanctions on countries that refuse to make women equal in their places, that refuse to give certain standards? Can we see that if those sanctions are there, definitely they will do more than giving me a 1 day every year to say it's International Women's Day? Well, we should have impact if we actually have a National Assembly that is competent, that realizes that it had failed at a particular thing and they need to rectify it. But what is most important is that there is anger, and it's good anger, and it's the kind of anger that we are going to use going towards the 2023 election. Just less than a year to the 2023 election, the National Assembly had the temerity, the audacity to actually throw out all the bills that were related to women. And so it is time for us to let them know that indeed we're going to meet at the polls, And indeed, we're going to remember this. And indeed, we're going to put gender on the table when we're voting. And what we're also trying to do is to get women, competent women, into office. Because enough of us coming out to protest all the time, enough of us telling them to do the right thing. We need women at the table actually being part of decision making. And when they are there, they will do the needful. And we will hold them accountable to that.
First of all, I want to congratulate every woman around the world. Happy International Women's Day. Well, we're a patriarchal nation. We have so many things working against women. There's the cultural bias, there's the political bias, there's the constitutional bias, there is even religious bias, there's traditional bias, there's family bias, and there's communal bias, because a lot of people grew up with the notion that women, even as we heard it from our own president of this nation, belong to the kitchen and the other room. Now, if a president can say that to all the men in this nation, that is the kind of things that we are fighting against, and that is how we are seen. So if that is the narrative, my sister, it means that they just have grown up in a culture that they believe that women cannot and should not be on the decision-making table with them. But we have seen that women have contributed in significant ways in so many areas, and they need to be a part of the decision-making process.
Look at the very many number of women who are roasting corns, yams, lockside. When we talk about a woman having pregnancy problem, even our maternity health right, we don't have right to it. We know we have found ourselves as an Africa in a male-dominated environment, but notwithstanding, we cannot negotiate our worth. We have professionals among women, women of caliber and timber in Nigeria. Some of them are not better than us. We are even better than most of them. They are afraid of corruption. You know, when a woman is there, women are best managers of men and resources. They know if women are there, we will fight corruption. We will not allow them to spend, we will not allow them. All this bureaucracy of wastage, we will stop it. We have women of timber and caliber. They are afraid, but the earlier the better. They change their ways. If they can pass a bill in a day on electoral law, let them reverse what they have done. Give women their chance. That is why we are here. And today, as we mark International Women's Day, this is very important and very appropriate. There is no other time better than today to tell them we women are not happy with them. They should think of us, think about the future of our daughters, and think about ourselves. If we are voters, and our politics is the nearest shortcut to the national cake. And now we did the job together. And when it is now the sharing time, they say women should say, we are not asking for it on a platter of gold. But where you see qualified women who are ready, who are capable, who are even more equal than them, they should allow us.
Nigerian women, we should just take the bull by the horn, work together, support ourselves. The story will be different, but if we wait for these men, it will never happen.
There's an adage that said, if things are not going right somewhere, just put women inside. Put women inside and you see that things will change for good. All what I'll say to my fellow women, to people out there, women out there, is that we are into it now, and no retreat, no surrender.
What we need to do, we should come together. We should solidarize. Women ourselves, we should start being friends to ourselves. We should stop castigating ourselves. We should stop calling ourselves names. Then I want to give an example of Arabirin, the first lady we have in Ondo State. Despite her seat, comfort zone, as her excellency, as a wife, very devoted wife of Mr. Governor of Ondo State, she left us. She was here with us last week to do this rally. These are some of the leaders we want among the women. Women should arise. When we see something, we must say something. We must break the bias. We must break educational bias, break it. Financial bias, break it. Job stereotype, break it. Where they believe women cannot go into road construction, we cannot go into mining, we cannot go into automobiles. Only tabletop businesses cannot solve what we are talking about.
They should not give up. The struggle continues, but we should use wisdom as a mother to get there.
I would advise every woman to arise. We are representing all of you, so arise.
I would say you need to look at what small contribution you can make. It can be contribution of resources, it can be a contribution of your time, it can be contribution of your knowledge and your capacity building. It can be any kind of support that you can give any women's organization that is doing something significant in this nation. Just be a contributor to nation building. The future is gender. The future is women. The future is girls. The future is our daughters. The future are our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren. And the future is for our elders. Just in one word, the future is for women.
I go always pray for you. I go always pray for you. Make the grace of Jesus see you through. I go always pray for you. As all of us they go our separate ways.